All right, throw up that intro card. Got Mr. Mrlemarquis and the Norskins taking on Thanqul and the Lizardmen. This is round 2 of their best of 3. Winner will proceed to the finals, and it is match point for Mr. Mrlemarquis. So see if he can seal the deal right now. Not a great Lizard player, but I know that 3 Temple Guard with a Light Slant are hard to deal with. Temple Guard are really strong in this matchup because the Bretonnian, the Bretonnian, the Norscan infantry just really doesn't do well against Temple Guard. Temple Guard pretty much beat anything Norscans throw at them. Excuse me. Unless you want to go really expensive and get like Marauder champions with great weapons or something, but if you do that, then you're opening yourself up to the possibility of just over-investing in infantry and getting killed by dinos. I think Berserkers may be the better choice in this matchup. Good leadership, good speed, and they can shred skinks. Oh, yeah, might bring Berserkers to hold against the Lizardmen. Yeah. Berserkers are strong, and it looks like we have Berserkers indeed, so without further ado, the Norscan army. It's going to be a cool one. Got a little bit of everything by the looks of it. So, got 2 units of Marauder Spearmen, 3 units of Marauder Berserkers, one of whom will be the Brutes of the Hound ROR Unbreakable Berserkers. You got 2 Marauder Hunters with Javelins, 1 Marauder Hunter with throwing axes. And then for the monsters, which there seems to be a decent amount, we got 1, 2 Trolls and the Fimir Miststalkers. So, Regiment of Renown Fimir Warriors with stock. And very interesting picks here. I'm curious to see how the Trolls do. Got to be careful against those dinos. They don't have the best leadership, but they actually are very good at kind of holding dinosaurs in place. And I'd say overall they trade well. Got a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal on top of a Chariot. Disappearing on me. Going to have Final Transmutation as well as Plague of Rust and Metal Shifting. And then last but certainly not least, we got Throggy Boy. Mr. Throg is going to have Fight or Die and his Throw Up. So Copious Vomit. Curious to see how this works against the Lizardmen. I'm wondering if he's going to throw it down on top of perhaps some Temple Guard, or if he's going to stick with a large unit. This should be an interesting fight. But that rounds out our Norscan army. 2 Marauder Horsemen up front as well to counter skirmish. For the Lizardmen, we have 1, 2, 3 Chameleon Skinks deployed up front for some skirmishing. Got 2 units of Skink Cohort with Javelins. Got a Feral Bastillodon and a second Feral Bastillodon in this army, 1 on either flank. The rest of the Lizardmen army will be in the trees here. So we have some Saurus Warriors with spears. Saurus Spears with shields. Red-crested Skinks, 1, 2 of them. And then we have a second Saurus Spear with shields. We're also going to be looking at some Feral Cold Ones. Don't see these guys too often. We'll see how they fare. Could do well against some of the lower tier Norscan infantry and maybe chasing some units off. But I think they'll have to be used with rear charges. Otherwise, they're probably very liable to just not do much. And oh my goodness. Is this a Kroxigor Ancient? This isn't even Nakai the Wanderer. We got a generic Kroxigor Ancient. I haven't seen him in battle before, so I'll have to check out his ability. Miasma of Despair, Monstrous Strength. Then we're going to have the Horn of Kaigor and Amulet of Itzel. So pretty heavy-hitting lord there. Now, for the magic, I'm looking around, and we may have a situation of no magic in this Lizardman build, which is quite strange. I mean, Lizardmen obviously, arguably the strongest magic faction in the game. Definitely in lore, they're the strongest. So, really hate to see an army without magic for the Lizardmen, and honestly, just any army without magic is a bit naked as far as I'm concerned. Going to have 3 Salamander Hunting Packs, so a ton of firepower here. I like these picks a lot. Their fireballs are going to do heinous work against these trolls. These trolls do have a weakness to fire, as you can see right here, which is going to be 25% weakness to fire. So any unit that regenerates tends to have that weakness. So Salamander Hunting Pack could come in very handy. And also, got to mention that Throg is also weak to fire. So this is going to be an interesting fight. No magic for the Lizardmen, but they do have 3 Salamander Hunting Pack, and I think this army, a lot of the tools in it are well suited against this Norscan army. But Norscan Berserkers, if they can get into this infantry, they should be able to mop it up real nasty. That's not a saying, but Norsca expecting the surprise Skink Horde. Little does he know there's a hidden Lord Croak hiding underground. That would be crazy. Lord Croak was like an actual cane toad from the desert, just buried himself underground during the battles. I still think that'd be a cool thing. Like if you could have the Tomb Scorpion burrow and then jump up when units were nearby or something to ambush him. That'd be a cool mechanic. A burrowing mechanic. Oh. I did not see the chat. They were waiting on me. Yeah, the skinks can't hold against berserkers at all, but we have 3 chameleon skinks and 3 salamander hunting packs, so it's really going to be a skirmishing game for the lizardmen here. I can't stress enough that 3 chameleon skinks and 3 salamander hunting pack, if microed well, could probably kill all of these berserkers, especially if they're bunching up like this. Volley of fireballs into these berserkers who have basically no armor, right? Yeah, 15 armor. They should be trading very well, and here come the chameleon skinks right now. Going to start firing in there, and chameleon skinks are rather fast, so we'll see if they can get out of here away from the trolls, and I think they'll be just fine. Their speed is at 48. The trolls do have more speed, but with the poison they don't. They're down to 41 with the poison, and in come all the fireballs from the salamanders, and yeah, like I said, just a lot of damage. These guys are already down to half health, and it's just disgusting. These fireballs are doing so much work. Also, don't like to see these trolls overextending. They're getting way too far away from the rest of their army. I do like that they're soaking up shots from the chameleon skinks because they can probably just regenerate through it, as these skink models don't, as the skink rounds don't really kill models. So the trolls are just going to be regenerating the whole time. Probably a good way to absorb a lot of that chameleon skink fire. But now the Norscans are pushing hard, trying to catch all these salamander hunting packs. Salamander hunting pack are pulling back, and we will see what happens, but they clearly haven't done enough damage yet in order to make a huge difference against the Norscans, but we'll see. It looks like Throg is going to get targeted right now by all these Salamander hunting pack. Feral Bastillodon is going to come forward, and Fimir Miststalkers and the Marauders are going to start diving in, though. Got Plague of Rust on top of this Bastillodon. It's down to 110, which is still quite high. And Throg is just getting bombarded by fireballs. The Bastillodon doing a good job distracting him, tying him up, and Throg needs to turn around and start chasing these guys. Otherwise, he will die a horrible death. Marauder Horsemen, honestly, just dive into combat with these Salamander hunting pack, pin him in place from one side, and then have your monsters and Throg come in from the other side to kill him off for good. Looks like he's doing just that, but he needs to be sending these guys out of this blob engagement onto the Salamander hunting pack to make sure he kills him off for good. Over here, though, Terror going to kick in on top of Throg and the Norscan trolls. A big problem for the Norscans. I think he'll come back, but they need to make sure he gets back sooner rather than later. And good job to the Norscans, though. Both of these Salamander hunting pack are routing at the moment, and the other one has been pushed really far off to the other side of the field. Fimir Miststalkers getting targeted by the missiles, but now they're diving into combat here against the Feral Cold Ones. This Bastillodon is probably going to die off now. It's going to start routing to the Trolls and Spear combination. And the Berserkers are just kind of starting to shine now. They took a lot of damage on the approach. But as you can see, they've killed all of the Skink Infantry that was really up here. Marauder Horsemen being used nicely as well. Like to see them ignore these Skinks and continue chasing the Salamander hunting pack off the map. Throg is coming back, but he's diving towards Saurus Spears. Not my favorite target for Throg to go into combat with, especially with Chameleon Skink so nearby. Throg just wants to get out of this combat. Saurus Warriors are tailor-made to counter him, especially if they're being supported by some Chameleon Skinks nearby. Is this going to be the Overcast Final Transmutation? And there it goes. Alright, not even Overcast, though. The Croxador Ancient is in combat, duking it out here with some trolls. And it seems like the Lizardmen are getting into a pretty commanding position at this point. I think the Norscans picked some engagements that really weren't in their favor. And I think we're going to be going to an ace match for this semifinal. There goes Throg. Throg is dead. Norscan infantry still doing okay. They still have some skirmishers in here, but now the Salamander hunting pack are going to be unchallenged for the most part. Fimir warriors are getting weared down by all the skink cohort missile fire that's coming in. Yeah, this is getting... Yeah, I don't know. Norsca has some infantry that's still doing fine. Would like to see them split up and not bunch so much, but yeah, it looks like army losses are actually going to start kicking in. This center is going to break the balance of power, is going to swing very far against the Norscan player. And unless this Fimir Miststalker unit can just tank everything by itself, I think we're going to be seeing a Lizardman victory in an ace match coming up. Beautiful skirmish play from the Lizardman here, supporting his engagements with these Lizardman skirmishers, doing a very nice job. Poor little salamander just curled up and dead like a gecko dried out on the porch. There go army losses and a GG. Thanqul. Bringing it back. God, this is a massacre. Yeah, Skink Army doing well for itself with that rear charge, coming in hard. Oops. All right, so 1-1. I mean, the Lizardman Army, no caster, but Salamander Hunting Pack and the Chameleon Skinks really MVP as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Norsca did a good job getting up there and trying to compromise those Salamanders, chasing them off the field, but Throg just got demolished. He took so much damage so early in the battle from all those fireballs, and then the next combat he got involved in was Sora Spears with shields, which, you know, I think is honestly what lost the game here for Mr. Mrlemarquis. I think he really needed to use Throg more cautiously. I think he should have ignored the Feral Bastiladon that was sent against Throg and the caster there, which was clearly just an attempt to stall him so the fireballs can be thrown down against him. So yeah, I would definitely have recommended ignoring that Feral Bastiladon since it was just a distraction unit, going past it and just killing off the Salamander Hunting Pack and then turning around to help out your infantry. But yeah, great game. But the fireballs, yeah, MVP there. So ace match, winner takes all. Who's going to